Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are taking a great care of yourself. Fine, so let us start today's lecture. This is class 10th, subject mathematics, chapter number 4, quadratic equations, lecture number 4. And children, the content I am going to cover from NCERT. So children, in my previous lecture I started with word problems of quadratic equation. So let us continue with the same topic today. So the topic to be covered is word problems of quadratic equation. For that I am going to take the questions from exercise 4.3. Let us start it. So children, this is question number 9. Let us start. Two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 whole 3/8 hours. That is 9 8s are 72 plus 3 75/8 hours. The tap of the larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. Find the time in which each tap can separately fill the tank. Children, while reading this question, you may have come to know that this is nothing but the concept of time and work. In previous lecture also, I made you understand the same concept. So let us give a recall to the same concept. While taking one example, suppose children, if I am going to finish one work in 2 days, it means my 1 day work will be half, correct? So through this we have come to know that time and work are reciprocal of each other. Correct, children? So let us start this question now. So let the time taken by the smaller tap to fill the tank be x hours. Suppose if the time taken by the smaller tap to fill the tank is x hours, then can you tell me how much work will be done by the smaller tap in 1 hour? Yes, of course it will be the reciprocal of time. That would be 1/x. Correct, children? Now according to question, what is said that the larger diameter, the tap which is having the larger diameter, that takes 10 hours less. So definitely the time taken by the larger tap to fill the tank will be x minus 10 hours. Correct, children? So now we are going to find out the work done by both the taps. Work done by the smaller tap in 1 hour is equal to 1/x. Why? Because the smaller tap was going to take x hours time to fill the tank. Correct? So now let us talk about the work done by the larger tap. When larger tap is going to take x minus 10 hours, so how much work will be done by the larger tap in 1 hour? That would be 1/x minus 10. So they both are work done. Correct, children? Now according to question, see, I am going to read the very first line once again. Two water taps together can fill the tank in 75/8 hours. So this is the total time taken by both the taps to fill the tank. But here we are dealing with work done. So what will be the total work done by both the taps? This is 1/x. This is the work done by the smaller tap in 1 hour. This is 1/x minus 10. This is work done by the larger tap in 1 hour. So work done plus work done must be equal to work done only. Correct? So I have taken the reciprocal of 75/8, which is actually the total time taken by both the taps to fill the tank. Correct? Because this will definitely give me the work done. This is nothing but the reciprocal of the time, which was 75/8 hours. Correct, children? Just to see, here I have written total time taken is equal to 9 whole 3/8 hours. That is 75/8 hours. So what will be the total work done in 1 hour by both the taps? That would be the reciprocal of the time taken by both the taps. That is 8/75. Correct? Now this is the equation formed. 1/x plus 1/x minus 10 is equal to 8/75. I am going to take LCM of the terms which are written on left hand side. That would be x into x minus 10. X will be divided, this x into x minus 10 will be divided by x. So I can say that x and x are going to be cancelled. Here I have got x minus 10 plus, when this complete LCM will be divided by x minus 10, so I have got x only. And x will be multiplied by 1, that would be x. Correct, children? Is equal to 8/75. Now after simplifying, I have got 2x minus 10 upon x square minus 10x is equal to 8 upon 75. Now by cross multiplying, if I am going to cross multiply, so definitely this 75 will be multiplied by 2x minus 10 and 8 will be multiplied by x square minus 10x. Correct, children? So after multiplying this 75 by 2x minus 10, I have got 150x minus 750 is equal to this 8 into x square will give you 8x square minus 80x. Correct? So now I am going to simplify this equation. So children, I have got 8x square. This will go on right hand side. 150x will go on right hand side. So that will also become minus 150x. So minus 80x and minus 150x will give you minus 230x. And this 7 minus 750 will also go on right hand side. It would become plus 750 is equal to 0. Now this is the required quadratic equation. Now we have to simplify it either. That depends on you. Either you want to go for completing the perfect square method, or of course the most popular and the easiest method, that is factorization method, or the quadratic formula. Fine. So children, I am going to adopt a factorization method. Correct? So what is the sum required? Sum I want as minus 230 and the product, that is 750 into 8, I want 6000 as the product. Correct? So I have to split the middle term in such a way so that the sum should be minus 230 and the product should be 6000. So see children, I have split it. This is 8x square minus 200x minus 30x. Add them, because minus minus plus, but sign will be of minus. So you will be getting 230x. But when you will multiply them, you will be getting plus 6000. Correct? So this plus 750 will be written as it is, equal to 0. From first these two terms, I am going to take 8x as common. So inside the bracket, I have got x minus 25. From here, I am going to take minus 30 as common. So I will be getting x minus 25 is equal to 0. Correct, children? Now, this is x minus 25. This is also x minus 25. So will be written once only, x minus 25. 8x minus 30 will be written in another bracket, equating both the expressions to 0. So while equating the very first term to 0, I have got x is equal to 25. Fine. And when I equated the another bracket equal to 0, I have got x is equal to 30 upon 8, that is 15 upon 4. Fine. Now, this value will be considered as a rejected one. What is the reason behind it? See, here I have written the reason. Suppose if we find the time taken by the larger tap, because this x is the time taken by the smaller tap to fill the tank. Now definitely if you know, because the time of both the taps separately is demanded in the question. If you have found the time taken by the smaller tap, definitely you have to find out the time taken by the larger tap as well. Correct? So here I am going to find out the time taken by the larger tap, that is x minus 10. If x is 15 upon 4 minus 10, that would give you minus 25 upon 4. But children, you know very well that time can never ever be negative. So that's why the value of x is equal to 15 upon 4 will be considered as the rejected value. Correct, children? Okay. Now, the value which we have accepted, that is x is equal to 25. Let us find the time taken by the larger tap as well. So thus, the time taken by the smaller tap is equal to 25 hours. And what else we have to find out? The time taken by the larger tap will be x minus 10 hours. That is 25 minus 10 hours is equal to 15 hours. Correct, children? Fine. Now, children, let us switch to the next word problem. That is, an express train takes 1 hour less than a passenger train to travel 132 km between Mysore and Bengaluru. If the average speed of the express train is 11 km more than that of the passenger train, then find the average speed of two trains. Correct, children? So let us start its solution. Let the average speed of the passenger train be x km per hour. Correct? Because in the question it is given that express train, the speed of the express train, the average speed of the express train is 11 kilometer per hour more than the passenger train. Fine. So then the average speed of the express train is equal to x plus 11 kilometer per hour, because this is 11 kilometer more than the 11 kilometer per hour more than the passenger train. Correct, children? Now, how much is the total distance covered by both the, how much is the total distance covered by them? That is 132 kilometer. Now children, we have to find out the time taken by the passenger train to cover 132 kilometer. Children, you know very well what is the formula to calculate time when you know about the distance as well as speed. Time is equal to distance upon speed. What is the distance? That is 132 kilometer. Correct? And what is the average speed of the passenger train? That is x. So 132 upon x, that would be time taken by the passenger train. Correct? Now let us find the time taken by the express train. Time taken by express train to cover 132 kilometer is equal to 132 upon x plus 11. What is this x plus 11? X plus 11 kilometer per hour is the average speed of the express train. Correct, children? And 132 kilometer, you know, this is the distance covered by it. So this is the total time taken by express train. Correct? Now we are reaching on according to question. Please be alert. Look. This is the time taken by express train, 132 upon x plus 11. And 132 upon x is the time taken by passenger train. Correct? Now what does the statement says? An express train takes 1 hour less. Means this time is 1 hour less than the time taken by the passenger train. So definitely to make both the time equal, I have to add 1 hour in this value, that is 132 upon x plus 11, or I have to subtract 1 hour from 132 upon x. Fine, because I have to form the equation. Definitely both the expressions must be put equal. Correct? So how will both the times become equal? This is that time which is taken by express train, and express train is taking 1 hour less. So definitely I have to add 1 hour in it so that the time taken by both the train will become equal. Correct? Now, I am bringing this 132 upon x on left hand side. It would be 132. Sorry, this I am going to take on right hand side. It would become 132 upon x minus 132 upon x plus 11 is equal to 1. Taking 132 as common. So inside the bracket I will be getting 1 upon x minus 1 upon x plus 11 is equal to 1. Taking LCM. X into x plus 11 will be LCM. So here x plus 11 minus x. X and x are going to be cancelled, is equal to 1. Now children, after simplifying, I have got 132 into 11. This will be written on left hand side is equal to, while cross multiplying x into x plus 11 by 1, I have got x square plus 11x. Correct? So 132 will be multiplied by 11. So I will be getting 1452 is equal to x square plus 11x. This 1452 I am going to take on right hand side. So this is the required quadratic equation, that is x square plus 11x minus 1452 is equal to 0. Now children, I am going to split the middle term. The sum I want as 11 and the product I want as minus 1452. So let us split them. X square plus, this would be 44x minus 33x. Subtract them. You will be getting 11x. When you will multiply 44 by 33, you will be getting 1452. Correct? With minus sign, because with minus 32 you are multiplying. Now while taking x as common from the very first two terms, inside the bracket I have got x plus 44. Here I am going to take minus 33 as common. I have got x plus 44 is equal to 0. So x plus 44 into x minus 33 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 44 and x is equal to 33. But here I have written that minus 44 will be the rejected value. Children, you know the reason very well why this value is rejected. Because x was considered as the average speed of the passenger train, and you know that the speed can never ever be negative. Correct, children? So hence the average speed of the passenger train is equal to x is equal to 33 kilometer per hour, and the average speed of the express train is equal to, which was 11 kilometer per hour more. So that is x plus 11 is equal to 33 plus 11, that is 44 kilometer per hour. Correct, children? Okay. Now let us switch to 11th question. This is the last statement sum of this chapter. Fine. So let us start doing it. Sum of areas of two squares is 468 square meter. Area, you know, is always found in square unit. If the difference of their perimeters is 24 meter, then find the sides of two squares. Clear with the statement? We have to deal with the area of square. We have to deal with the perimeter of square. So definitely before I start solving the question, you must be knowing their formulae. Correct, children? Suppose the length of the side of a square is x meter. Then definitely the area will be side into side, that is x meter into x meter, means x square square meter. Correct? Don't be confused. This would be x square unit. Correct? Now, if we are dealing with the perimeter, how to calculate perimeter of a square? Suppose the side is x meter given. Then perimeter is 4 into side. That is 4 into x meters. Correct, children? So let us start doing it. How to start? Let the sides of two squares, because we are dealing with two squares, so they be x and y respectively. Children, basically I have to deal with one variable only in quadratic equation. Fine. But initially I can consider two variables. There is no problem in doing that. But later on you have to convert it into one variable only. Fine. Now children, according to question, the sum of the areas of two squares. So if side is x, then the area will be x square for first square. And if side is y, then area will be y square for the another square. Then their sum is equivalent to 468. Now children, please note down your mathematics homework. Maths homework is you have to revise question 4 to 11 of exercise 4.3 in practice notebook. Fine, and you have to do these classwork questions in homework notebook. Correct, children? So children, today I have finished with all the statement sum. Make sure that you have to do these 4 to 11 questions yourself in your practice notebook. The more you learn, the more you understand, definitely the positive result will be there in your hand. Correct, children? Please practice these questions yourself. Okay. Now, Let us start the discussion of the homework question solution of lecture number 3. Children, I gave you statement sums. Out of those, I found this sum a little tough for you. So I am going to take that question now. The statement is question number 5. The statement is, in a class test, the sum of Shefali's marks in mathematics and English is 30. Had she got 2 marks more in mathematics and 3 marks less in English, then the product of her marks, it should be her marks, product of her marks would have been 210. Find her marks in both the subjects. So let us start doing. Let Shefali's marks in mathematics be X. How many marks I have considered in mathematics as X? So let her marks be in English be 30 minus X, because what is given in the statement that the sum of Shefali's marks in maths and English is 30. Suppose if the child is going to get X marks in one subject, so definitely in another she will be getting 30 minus X, because when you will be adding both of these expressions, you will be getting the sum as 30. Correct? Now according to question, if she was going to get 2 marks more in mathematics, initially she was getting X marks, now 2 marks more will be added, so the child will be getting X plus 2, and 3 marks less in English. So initially she was getting 30 minus X. So I have to reduce 3 marks. So she will be getting 27 minus X. And the product of both the marks is equivalent to 210. So definitely after simplifying them, we can come to know about the quadratic equation. X will be multiplied by 27. You have got 27x. This is minus x square. This is plus 54. And then minus 2x is equal to 210. Now minus x square. This plus 27x and minus 2x will give you plus 25x. Minus 156. I have got this how 54 minus 210, that you will be getting minus 156 is equal to 0. Now let us apply factorization method. Fine. The sum should be minus 25 and the product should be 156. Children, somewhere if suppose you are stuck in applying factorization method or in splitting the middle term, then you can go with quadratic formula also. Correct? Okay. So this is x square minus 13x minus 12x, because their sum will be minus 25 and product will be plus 156. Plus 156 is equal to 0. Taking x as common from first 2 term, we have got x into x minus 13 minus 12 into x minus 13. X minus 13 will be written once because again it will be taken as common. So inside another bracket it is left, x minus 12 is equal to 0. Correct, children? Okay. Now while putting both the expressions equal to 0, I have got x is equal to 13 and x is equal to 12. Let us check. Basically x was considered as the mathematics marks of the child. Fine. So when x is equal to 13, then English marks, that would be 30 minus x, that is 30 minus 13. How many marks the child will be getting? That is 17. Fine. Now, but when suppose if the child has got x is equal to 12, because here you cannot reject either of the two values. Fine. So if I am going to take x is equal to 12, that is marks in mathematics, then definitely I have to calculate the marks in English as well. That would be 30 minus x, that is 30 minus 12, that is 18 marks in English. Correct, children? So either Shefali can got marks in mathematics as 13 and in English 17, or she can get marks as 12 in mathematics and 18 in English. Correct, children? Fine. Hope your doubt may have been resolved now. Fine. So hopefully that today's lecture you may have understood well. Fine. So children, today I have completed with all the word problem sums. You please revise all those word problems which I have given you today to do in your practice notebook. Clear? Thank you and have a nice day.